All right. They say that the third time is the charm. And I'm doing my best to get this going, baby dolls. So here we are again. I hope that this can last. I'm not sure what is happening with my system, but such is life in the Earlverse. Mud Sharks Unite. Can you hear me? Sounds good. All right. There you go. We're back. We're back live. I'm honestly not sure what happened. You know, Queenon, I'm sorry that you're, it is a cold business. Someone is sabotaging me. But here we are again. Take 3 in the Earlverse. So let me write out a little tweety weedy and see if we can get the Earlverse back in business. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, day 3. And sometimes it happens. Yeah, hit the like button, please. If there's any day that I would like you to hit the like button. All right. I'm getting trolled early here, so I don't mind. Come at me, bro. I appreciate you guys. Friend or foe? Trump. Dingbat. You reap what you sow, Earl. Your TDS is alive and well. LA will be first hit. Enjoy it. But Trump breaking. Biden secretly gave Ukraine permission to strike inside Russia with U.S. weapons. Putin sends direct message, disrupts all trading on Dow and S&P for nearly 1 hour. The feds are scurrying. All right. I think you need to be in the Alex Jones forum, dingbat. But feel free to talk. I can't kick out one person in this stream, frankly. That would literally be 20% of the stream. Thank you, Chill Boots. We've had some technical difficulties today, and we're trying to make it right here. We had a rough start today, I'm not going to lie. I've been trying to stream since 3 p.m. But we seem to have gotten the technical difficulties out of the way. And now we're back in business. We're back in business. It's a rough year for Vince McMahon and Donald Trump. Dingbat, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. I voted for him once. I would not vote for him again. So you should really know what you're talking about. See, I'll talk to the trolls in a friendly manner. Yeah, absolutely, Trump will appeal. Junior Coltrane back. At least now you can hear me, Junior Coltrane. See, we can talk politics in here. Well, you win at the polls, baby, November 5th. If you still like Trump, get him in here. And I apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't have a producer. Um, I'm a lone soldier. So, but that's what makes the Earlverse. Hit the like button. Thank you, Queen on, and I forget who else sent me a super chat in the first stream. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Someone asking me if I knew Steve Renazizi. I think it was Ross Dogs, maybe. Um, yeah, the stripper poles, Mud Sharks Unite. Okay, yes, I did know Steve Renazizi. I'm not sure if my answer came through in the first stream. I got to be honest with you. I don't know what the problem was, John Doe. Brightside X SXFD7, $1.99. Brightside is I got to like twice. Hello. Yeah, I mean, uh, it's a bummer. I don't know what was wrong. I mean, I just unplugged a few things and plugged them back in. Um, so Well, I think what they're saying, John Smith, is that he was guilty of covering up the payment because he thought that it would affect some people voting, and that's where the election fraud came in. I mean, you know, I think people who don't like Trump are like, yeah. I think people who like Trump is like, what's the big deal? It was just sex. I mean, Trump is still denying that he even had sex with her. Um, Trump donation page just crashed. I'm sure it did. I mean, it's going to help Trump, to be honest with you. Um, this is not the world of politics that I grew up in. With Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan, and you just vote for whichever guy you liked. You didn't really have a lot of scandals, and you know, it's just. I mean, I don't think anything will happen to Trump. If he wins, and it's dead even right now, to be honest with you. Um, Bro, you don't know what Trump does or doesn't do. I don't know what he does, to be honest with you, but you don't either, unless you work for him. Um, if Trump wins, this will all go away. Um, yeah, I mean, I agree with Mud Sharks Unite. Both sides are full of shit. How's the sound, guys? How's the sound? Now I'm paranoid. Let's suspend political talk and someone tell me how the sound is. Uh, I mean, he absolutely had sex with her T gun. Okay, good. Sorry. I mean, I see. I mean, the settings are, yeah. I mean, the settings really aren't any different than when the sound wasn't working. So, uh, I don't know what happened, guys. So sorry about that. I know. Good evening, Spur. You missed some technical difficulties, but we're back. We're back. Um, the stream, the clarity, the video clarity seems good. So, listen, I think Trump is pretty cool, fucking playmates and porn stars, but I think I just disagree with you that Trump did not have sex with that woman. They clearly had sex. Um, okay, good, good. I mean, I don't know what happened. That's the frustrating thing is like, I would say 1 out of every 10 streams, and I don't touch the settings. The sound's off. I mean, the video's never really off, but I do appreciate it. Um, so, I mean, this is just the start. I mean, this was the weakest trial. Uh, okay, no need to talk in all caps, dingbat. Uh, I mean, let's, I don't care what your views are, but, when you talk in all caps, dude, it reeks of like being a 13-year-old in a basement in Steubenville, Ohio. Maybe Trump did bang Patty, please. So Okay, I mean, I don't mute anyone. I don't care if you believe what I believe. I don't care. I'm going to go a little longer today on the stream till about 5 o'clock, just because of all the technical difficulties. I feel like I owe you guys a good stream. I'm really sorry about the first two attempts. Uh, well, I think ultimately it depends on where your beliefs are from the standpoint of, do you think Trump covering up the affair, did he do it to protect his wife or did he do it to protect his chances of winning an election? No, I'm just telling you that, Junior Coltrane, because if this got out before the election, it probably would have cost him the election. Therein lies the crime. Um, so it depends on what you believe. If you think, oh, he's just doing all this paperwork to protect his wife from the embarrassment of the affair, then, it's not election fraud. But if you believe he was covering up the affair to not lose votes, what does getting laid have to do with a court case? What does getting laid have to do with it? Well, if um, I think what it has to do with is if you're covering the affair with hush money, baby, because you don't want to lose votes. Uh, Rangers or Panthers tonight? Yeah, thank you, James McCown. We can still talk Trump. I mean, listen, this is a great stream right now. We're talking politics. Well, I mean, listen, here's one thing I think we all can agree on. This case will go down in the annals of crime trials as maybe uh, the greatest case of all time with the most amount of horrible witnesses on either side. I mean, Cohn is a horrible witness, whether you're anti or pro Trump. I mean, and who was the guy that the lawyer they brought in, the defense did last week? He was a horrible witness too. I mean, I personally myself would not have brought in Stormy Daniels as a witness. I don't think many people don't think they had sex. Um, so that's all she could testify to. I think when you bring her in and you start talking about the graphic nature of the sex, that's more prejudicial than probative. Junior Coltrane, Earl. So, what exactly did Trump do wrong specifically? Specifically, the hush money was to keep a story from getting out that would cost him votes, which is election fraud. I mean, bro, I voted for Trump in 2020, so I'm not anti-Trump. And most people who vote for Trump don't admit it. I'm admitting it. I didn't vote in 2016. I voted for Trump in 2020 because his policies align with where my money's at. And in 2024, I'm not voting. And a lot of people will say, then you don't have a right to vote. I think what's worse than not voting is voting for the sake of voting. So, no, he didn't admit to that, Junior. I mean, the whole trial, Cohen said he was doing so at the direction of Donald Trump. Um, and if you don't think, I mean, Donald Trump is a micromanager. He literally knows where every single penny goes. There's no way that there's no way that Cohen is cutting checks for 130 grand. And Trump doesn't just goes, okay, I'll just let him do that. Come on, man. But despite you and I disagreeing on this, at least we agree on voting. Yeah, but he's a infamous Junior for being a micromanager and knowing where every penny is, being spent. There's no way he's gonna let an attorney, his number 1 attorney, if you don't think he knew what Michael Cohen was doing, come on, man. Um, he knew every move that Michael Cohen was doing, in my opinion. I mean, listen, let's be honest, neither one of us know the truth, and neither one of us probably ever will know the truth. Um, yeah, I mean, and listen, Biden's got some skeletons too. The whole Ukraine and Hunter Biden getting a job in a field he had no knowledge of. That's fishy to me too. Um, so, well, I mean, I think that Cohen I'm sorry, was Donald Trump's bodyguard, financial bodyguard. Um, and he was the enforcer. Um, yeah, but none of them had the clout, Junior, that Michael Cohen had. And Michael Cohen was not some rogue agent who was allowed to act on his own. Come on, man. What up, Dominic Sin? Fixer, bodyguard, whatever you want to call him. And he might have had hundreds of lawyers working for him, which is absolutely probably true, given the amount of companies he owes. But, um, Cohen was number one in um, the hitman order. And listen, I'm sorry, bro. I just don't believe that Trump did not know what Michael Cohen was doing. If his lawyer number 645, maybe he doesn't exactly know what that guy's doing. But, you know, the formal appeal process cannot begin until sentencing has occurred. I mean, it's going to be, it's funny, all this could end up happening right around November 5th. So, come on, man. You're understating Junior Cohen's importance. He was the fixer. He was the first lawyer Trump called when something was going down. Hey, you call the National Enquirer. You set up a meeting with Pecker. You know, Listen, Cohen's a horrible person in and of himself, but in this particular case, what do you think they were paying Stormy Daniels for? To shut up so it wouldn't get out for the election. If you think Michael Cohen was on the outside, I don't know what to tell you, bro. And once again, I'm not a Trump hater. You know, I don't think Trump's going to serve jail time. Uh, yeah, well, that's a big 14 months, bro. And if you look at in those 14 months, Cohen was, you talk about um, Trump having hundreds of lawyers, which he probably had. Uh, in those 14 months, Cohen was behind Trump in every press conference. I mean, do you really think Donald Trump is going to have Michael Cohen just act on his own? I don't know what you're doing. Come on, man. But this is what I love about the Earlverse. Clearly, you and I disagree on this, but we're talking nicely about it. Uh, yeah, that would be Chandler. I don't think Chandler. Well, who knows? I haven't talked to her in 2 years, so maybe she set off an electronic time bomb and that was set to go 2 years off, so she wouldn't get blamed for it. I'm just kidding. Hey, hit the like button. There's 26 people in here, man. Only 9 likes. Come on, man. Uh, I mean, Cohen was Trump's bag man. So, well, you can't tie Trump to the threatening the kid. Um, I have my opinions on who was doing that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's going to. The LOP. This thing can go years. On appeals and. Um, I mean, I think Trump's biggest mistake. Listen, whether you like Trump or not, he got his ass handed to him in the courtroom. 34 counts, 34 guilty. Um, convictions. So, um, I think Trump's biggest mistake was hiring as your lead attorney and really a guy who was a career prosecutor and then switched over to defense. Um, 200 companies, 700 lawyers. Who could possibly come on, man? Trump is a micro man. You know that, bro. I mean, you don't seem to be willing. See, I'm willing to look at your side. Michael Cohen was his number one attorney for those 14 months. He was in charge of talking to Weisselberg and setting up meetings. And you now all of a sudden, well, Cohen wasn't that big of a deal. Listen, he's a horrible witness. I saw you on a Kill Tony episode. Did you like it or was it uncomfortable? I mean, I think I did about, I think 5 or 6 Kill Tonys. The first two were um, I was the Iron Patriot, and then I was the panel on 3 or 4. I mean, it was okay. I mean, I actually tried to give good comedy advice, and I could tell even back then when the show wasn't as quite as bloodthirsty. It was like, "Oh, that's great, but we wanna hear an insult. You're Mr. Roast Battle. Let's hear you talk shit about this kid." And I don't really like talking shit to an open mic comic who's not really capable of firing back at me. There's really no skill in that, at least to me. Yeah, I agree with you. Lawyers are scum, and I'm telling you, Cohen's a scummy guy, but he's Trump's scummy guy. Which day are you performing on Hackamania? Only tomorrow night. I have to go back Saturday morning / afternoon because the Comedy Store gave me a spot Saturday night, and that's $500, which is probably more than I'd be getting paid if I stayed the whole weekend, unfortunately. Um, so how big is your dick is what I remember from your Kill Tony appearance. Well, that's a solid, I'm memorable. You got to give me that. I mean, I think the last time I was on Kill Tony was when Allie Mack was on talking about 2 comics taking her to Tijuana, and I said, "Oh, Dalia and Callan," and Tony kicked me under the table and was like, "Well, there goes those 2 guests." And look how right I was. Thank you very much. Um, so that's the last time I've been on Kill Tony. That was with Sam Roberts and Jim Norton. So, I mean, listen, whether you like Tony or not, you got to give him props. He's built it into a force of nature. I mean, I remember, I think the first one I was a panelist on, so maybe my 3rd appearance ever was with Michael Costa and someone else. And I forget, to be honest, it's a long time ago. And there was like maybe 25, 30 people in the room. Um, Total, I mean, comics and audience. And I remember going, this show sucks. But look how wrong I was. I don't think I think it's 7 p.m. West time. I think the comedy show's at 8. When Earl Skakel's Money is 10 p.m. Tony told you we did it yet? He has told me, Boulder Johnny. I always got along with Tony. Cohen was angry at Trump because he couldn't get on the inside circle. He said he was on the inside circle, bro. Like, you don't seem to be willing to look at my side. Like, I'm looking at your side. It's Trump a bad dude? 100% he is. But Cohen is too. I'm not a Michael Cohen fan, but he was the hand-picked cleaner for Trump. So birds of a feather, in my opinion. They're both shitty people. Well, that I don't know. I can't get into Trump's head. Well, listen, I'll just say this. Not every lady, but most women have told me I'm one of the larger men they've been with. So that's all I go on. I've never measured my dick. Uh, yeah. So, I mean, I'm like a white Patrice. I keep it real. I keep it real. And the great thing about me is I don't really care if you agree with me or not. That's, how boring would these streams be if we just sat there and said, yeah, Trump sucks. Okay, cool. All right. Good night, guys. Or Cohen sucks, or this guy sucks. Uh, yeah, let's get it on. And yeah, I mean, all politics suck. Uh, I'm not watching some guy's stream I've never heard of. I'll watch the Midas touch. I mean, I don't think he was a complete insider. I don't think he was a complete outsider, to be honest with you, Boulder Johnny. Stormy does suck. That's why we're talking about this right now. Um, and there's no need to talk in caps, Junior Coltrane. All politics is horrible. I mean, Trump has skeletons, Biden has skeletons, RFK Jr. has skeletons, Clinton had skeletons, both Bushes had skeletons, Reagan had skeletons. About the only guy who didn't have skeletons was Jimmy Carter, and he was horrible. Nixon had skeletons, Ford had skeletons, LBJ had skeletons, Kennedy had skeletons. Uh, yeah, I mean, look at Gavin Newsom. He wants to be president. He can't even run the fucking state I live in. Uh, well, I mean, if you want to bring up Epstein, like there's a fucking guy who, um, both Democrats and Republicans probably are nervous about. I mean, Clinton was seen on the plane. Trump was seen with Epstein multiple times. I think RFK Jr. said he was on Epstein's plane like 3 or 4 times on like duck hunting trips. Okay. Um, so, yeah, I mean, everyone was hot when they were younger. I mean, you seem to really be Junior saying Cohen was nothing more than a flunky. Then why was he at every press conference standing behind Trump for 14 months that he was there? I mean, listen, 34 counts, man. And they weren't all Trump lovers or Trump haters on that jury. Uh, He was say I see, you don't listen, Junior, and this is why it's frustrating talking to you. I said it, you can roll the tape back, clip it at him. I said he was seen on the Lolita Express. He was seen at Mar-a-Lago. What do you think Trump and Epstein were doing at Mar-a-Lago? I mean, come on, dude. Let me guess, they were just judging the contest. They're all guilty with Epstein, both parties. But no, listen, enough with the all caps. Fuck. Earl, who testified against Epstein in 2015? Well, what does that have to do with anything? David S. Pumpkins has two skeleton Beat Boys. I don't know what that means. You guys are hopping around now to Epstein and do like, listen, he was convicted, bro. Like 34 counts, 34 guilty verdicts. Like, it's not like this was an anti-Trump jury. It's 100% Dominic's son. 100%. Yeah, but I could also point to when Trump said Epstein was a great guy. I mean, who knows? The fact is, in the Earlverse stream, none of us are ever going to know the truth. It's sad. You don't get it, Junior. Like, you keep saying the same thing over and over again. This trial was not just about sex. It was about covering up the hush money payments. Where do you think the 135 grand came from? Or whatever it was, 130 grand. Where do you think that came from? You know? Yeah, I mean, you know how many scummy people there are out there? You know how many underage girls get used and abused in Hollywood by Democrats and Republicans? Well, I don't think Trump is as rich as he says he is, Junior. Because I can just go on personal experience. Anyone who talks about how much money they have, 100% out of the time doesn't have as much as they say they are. And if Trump had so much money, he would have paid off E. Jean Carroll like that. That's 95 million to a multi-billionaire. That's nothing. 95 million is nothing. He couldn't even come up with that. The 495 million, it's not chump change. But if you're worth 7, 8, 10, $9 billion like Trump said he is, you paid off like that. Yeah, but he can't cash in on that for 6 months. And if you see, you only say one side of the story, it's already lost half its value. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Trump and Cohen are both scummy guys. They both got caught with their pants down, and now one's blaming the other's blaming the other. And that's what he said he paid. And, $2 million, it's not that much. I paid 4 grand for Chandler's. I didn't even get it back. See, you guys are bringing up bad memories for me, man. We're gonna go another 28 minutes, guys, and then I have to go to yoga. But hit the like button, please. Junior, have you hit the like button? Dingbat too. See, isn't this great? We've talked 32 minutes without one mention of the Dabbleverse. I'd rather argue with Junior Coltrane than talk about the Dabbleverse. Well, a lot of shit is on paper. You might own something that on paper is worth $1 billion, but you're not really a billionaire until you have the money in the bank. Well, if Trump gets in, listen, it's the dead heat election right now. The real fun is if Trump wins, uh, you know. Well, that's your opinion, Dingbat. I mean, go to the Alex Jones forum, Dingbat. Now, let's not call each other dumb in the stream. But see, this is where I want this stream to go to. Well, see, but Junior, I'm going to call you out there. If it was lunch money, why did he have Cohen pay for it out of his own pocket? Come on, dude. Trump is cheap, and here's the bottom line. If Trump wasn't so fucking cheap and just paid Cohen back, none of this gets known, probably. That's what happens when you're cheap and you burn people. I mean, Trump is infamous for not paying contractors, for not paying off people who build his buildings. And he stiffed Michael Cohen, and Cohen was like, fuck you. And the scary thing is this was the weakest of the 4 cases against Trump. Wait till the other shit gets going, like the January 6th stuff. But I'm not trying to stump for I've got 21 people in here. Clearly, I'm not, trying to, uh, piss off anyone, but I think, my opinion is my opinion. So, I mean, he might be a billionaire on paper. Like, I just don't think he's as rich as he says he is. And it's funny to me. Well, as long as I don't look like Robert De Niro, I'm okay with that, Junior. Well, no, but I'm not saying my opinions are right. See, that's the beauty about me. I'm not saying Junior Coltrane is wrong or right. At the end of the day, it's an opinion's an opinion. None of us are on the inside. None of us were on the phone calls or in Trump's office. We just weren't. So we have to sit here and I mean, I know a lot of rich businessmen who are as rich as Trump, if not richer, and they have one thing in common. They're all micromanagers. And although they have hundreds of employees and hundreds of lawyers or, just an amazing, mind-numbing amount of staff, they know where every penny goes. Every single penny is accounted for by them directly. They look at the sheets, they look at the reports. Um, yeah, I wouldn't mind looking like De Niro in Heat. I mean, come on, man. Junior, I don't know what to tell you. He stiffed Cohen, and Cohen got pissed. I mean, listen, I voted for the guy in 2020, so, like, I'm not a Trump hater, but, I just think that, you know, listen, the results of this trial are what they are, but I also realize that, Trump is a very divisive figure. You love him or you hate him. There's nothing in between. Trump is like Kiss. But you're making assumptions, Junior, because you don't work for him. So you're guessing too. You and I are both making assumptions. I know, but Junior, you keep saying the same thing. He has 200 companies. Yeah, but he's also legendary for being a micromanager. Like, yeah, but what are normal people? Are you gonna tell me Fox News watchers are normal people? Listen, I think both when you look at the TV, there's 3 big TV channels, CNN, MSNBC, they hate Trump. Fox loves Trump. So, I think all 3 people or all 3 networks spew their own stuff. Newsmax is up Trump's ass. Um, hello, I see what you did there, Boulder Johnny. But I mean, Trump is like Kiss. And what I mean by that is, I'm a Kiss fan. To me, they can do no wrong. But to some people, they hate Kiss. They think Kiss sucks. And you're never going to change those people's minds. And it's the same thing with Trump. The people who hate Trump, you're never going to change their minds. The people who love Trump, you're never going to change their minds. I'm honestly in the middle. Well, at least we can agree on that, Junior. I think a lot of people live on credit. Yeah, I do think YouTube is trash. Speaking of trash, it's trash that I have 22 people in here and only 16 likes. Get it together. Uh, well, I think he trashed Fox News when they were judging him a little more harshly. But all cable TV sucks. You know, I don't know if YouTube sucks, but you know, let me thank the super chatters. SXFD7, thank you very much. I like to thank the people who financially support Earl. 100%. But that's why fewer and fewer people vote because politics is basically morphed into fucking pro wrestling. You turn on MSNBC, you've got Rachel Maddow doing her shtick. You turn on Fox, you've got Hannity, doing his bullshit. You got CNN with Jake Tapper doing his stuff. So, you know, that's why I don't vote anymore. You know, I just don't. Like between Biden and Trump, I mean, really? You have two 80-year-olds, both with baggage and more skeletons in the cemetery. So, it's just not my jam. I see what you're doing there, Michael Trevor. Yeeks. There's not enough money in the world that you could get to get me to wear that sign. But I mean, do you think, let me ask you this, Junior. Do you think Trump has done anything wrong? Forget the trial. Let's put that on hold for a second. Name one bad thing about Trump. Oh, absolutely, The Rock would have a chance. Yeah, but those guys, you like Ron DeSantis? Yeah, but Rand Paul's like he's wishy-washy. I mean, look at all the shit Trump talked about him, and they hated each other. And then fucking Rand Paul was like, "Oh, I love Trump." Same thing with Rubio. Now Rubio wants to be vice president. All the shit Trump talked about Rubio, little Rubio with the big ears. His wife's ugly. Oh no, that was Ted Cruz. My bad. My bad. Um, you know, I mean, I can't wait for the debates. I mean, I made more money with Trump. Absolutely. You should have seen my tax bill this year. I was almost thinking of getting a job. Oh, Ron Paul. I thought you meant Ron DeSantis. I mean, that guy can't even run Florida. He thought he was going to run the country. I mean, he was like the left coast or the right coast version of Newsom. So, I mean, all politics sucks, no matter what side you're on. Uh, you know, they just say what you want them to say, and then when they get elected, they turn their back on you. What are you going to do? Let me see what time the hockey game is on. Am I missing hockey to talk about Donald Trump? Yeeks. Let me see what time the hockey game. By the way, I was at AEW Dynamite. Panthers and Rangers are on at 5 p.m. I mean, Newsom looks like a politician, that's for sure. I don't know, Michaela. I'm driving. I got some stuff to do in the morning, so I'm literally going to get there probably around 6 p.m. for the meet and greet. And then obviously the comedy shows at 8 p.m. When Earl Skakel's Money is at 10 p.m. And then I don't even have a hotel yet. I'm probably going to, I don't know, I'll figure that out. And then I get up Saturday morning and go back to LA. So, um, so I don't like Vegas anyway, so I don't mind being there for such a um, short period of time. I'm not sure, Michaela. Where are you staying at? Well, let me actually don't mention that in here. Just DM me if you'd like. Well, I'll agree with you there, Junior. Listen, we might disagree on Trump, but as someone who lives in California, he sucks. Um, no, I really don't. I mean, okay. Well, I mean, Michaela, let's talk off air. I've got some questions about the Grand. I thought the hotels were covered, but someone told me they aren't. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. And I don't know. Well, I just normally I was gonna stay and do. I just know the podcast on Saturday afternoon. It's all end of the night are all gonna be about fucking Aaron and Steel Toe, and I have zero interest in that. Like beyond zero interest. So, Michaela, are we buddies on Instagram or Twitter? Let me know. I got a question for you. So I just have not. I don't want to be on a podcast for 7 hours talking about Ray or Steel Toe. You know, and the comedy store gig Saturday night is minimum $500 because the show's already sold out. So that's more than I'd probably be making if I stayed all weekend. Um, so yeah, I mean, I've got standards. I can't be sleeping with the pores. Uh, Now, Dingbat, let's not be name calling here, but tomorrow should be fun. I know I've got some friends coming, so uh, well, I think you know me, John Doe. I always will. Um, I speak out if I feel I've been mistreated. I mean, so far Melton has been very detail oriented, and um, you know, so I mean, I'm driving up there tomorrow. If I felt any wishy washiness, I would not be driving up there. So, I think that we'll see what happens. I mean, I think people should root for Hackamania to do well. I mean, if it does well, then that's another comedy weekend or festival, whatever you want to call it, that is good for comics and fans. Um, so, uh, yes, the OJ tour won't be this weekend, but it will be sooner than later. Oh, 100%. If I before I get in my car tomorrow, if I feel like something ain't right, I don't go. But I'm going. As of now, I'm going. Um, well, I enjoy talking about politics with everyone, Junior, Dingbat, whoever, because I don't talk about politics like I'm right, you're wrong. I mean, the fact is, none of us are in on these phone calls or read the emails that Cohen and Trump sent to each other. So we're guessing at what their intentions were. No, I mean, the only reason I'm going to Hackamania is because I can drive to it. If this was happening in New York, like Shuley asked me to go to Pottstown, and he was honest with me. He's like, "Hey, dude, I don't know what I can pay you. I'll try and get you what I can." I'm like, "Bro, that's not good enough for me," and he understood. So that there was no beef or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Sunday I'm in the Pride Parade. Okay, cool, Michaela. Sunday I'm in the Pride Parade, for the Comedy Store float. So it's always I'm giving back to the community, so that should be fun. And so I got a busy weekend. Tomorrow Vegas, Saturday Comedy Store, Sunday the Pride Parade. Um, so I'm going to shoot for the OJ tour to be next Sunday. I'm probably going to drive to Brentwood at some point and map out the walk because I believe from Nicole's condo to OJ's house, and I believe the house has been demolished. Um, it's at least a couple miles. So no, I don't. I don't plan my sets, John Doe. So in terms of um, I'm going to get up there, especially on a gig like this. I don't know how many people are going to be there. I don't know if the front row is going to be right in front of me so I don't, I've got hundreds of jokes in my head. So I'm pretty good at not improv, but improv comedy sets. I mean, like last Saturday at the Comedy Store was such a fucking wild atmosphere that I literally did about 45 minutes to an hour of just improv stand up, just looking out at the crowd and going with the vibe. Uh, that's not true, Junior. I mean, last Saturday's show was completely sold out. Uh, no, I have hundreds of jokes in my head. So, basically, like last Saturday was a wild atmosphere. Crowd was very ruckus. And, I'm like a quarterback reading the defense, so when the crowd's heckling and drunk and tired, you just can't go there with the set material. You got to be able to adapt. I don't believe I have, Michael, and I hope I never do. No, I dress as Earl Skakel for Pride, baby doll. Hit the like button. We got about 9 more minutes before I have to go to yoga. And, Michaela, look out for a message from me on IG. I mean, I don't think all the legends left. Listen, a lot of people left, no doubt about that, Junior. But there's a lot of great comics who are on, and a lot of young comics getting opportunity now. People like Steve Fury, Ron Taylor, Steph Tolev. Me. I mean, I'm not a young comic, but I'm getting an opportunity to close out the main room now because Holtzman moved to Austin. Um, so I have taken advantage of that situation to show the comedy community in Los Angeles that Earl can do a solid hour. Um, I'll keep that in mind, Dingbat. I'll keep that in mind. But it should be, I'm only there for one night, so it should be fun. And it'll be fun to meet some of the people in the Dabbleverse. Yes, I've done the Mothership once. I loved it. Had a very good time. Was treated very well by the Austin comics. Yes, I mean, they call it the Tripoli, Brody Stevens, Holtzman, Sam Kinison spot. And right now, anyway, it's the Skakel spot. So it is an honor to be mentioned with those other comics' names. I'm not saying I'm as good as they are, but it is kind of neat to be given that mantle. And it's tough, man. I mean, like last Saturday, the show was an hour behind. It's completely sold out. And Ron Taylor before me was killing. He's a very funny black comic. And I go on stage at like 1 o'clock, and they're fucking tired, man. And they gave me a look like, "Hey, man, we know you got a job to do. You're the last comic, but you better make us laugh, monkey man." Um, so, and I, walked very few people, and the people I did walk, they were going to leave anyway. So